From the Flying T Club studios here at Rockside Media House, this is Frog Today. We get you posted on men's tennis athletes at Wimbledon, TCU women's golf news with players traveling the world, and updates on their upcoming season. The new uniform for football are revealed, more TCU athletes headed to Paris, and what is the TCU Frog Club in news on the 24/7 initiative that concluded last week. It's Friday, June 28th, and I'm your host, Caleb Fox with TCU Football.
And I'm Marcel Brooks, and we're excited to get you caught up with everything that's going on in the world of TCU's athletics.
The championships at Wimbledon draw comes out today, and the tournament starts on Monday.
Our swim and dive team has 2 athletes heading to Paris, and the U.S. track and field trials are underway.
Our women's golf team has players all over the world competing in amateur events, and they prepare to open their season at the historic Pebble Beach in August.
What's the process in creating our new uniforms and how those combinations designs take life?
Probably the most important organization in our athletic department, the Frog Club. We are joined by the new leader of that organization and what went into the 24/7 initiative that raised over $250,000.
We got some more TCU men and women's basketball news and a clip from the season 2 finale of the State of the Frogs with Jamie Dixon talking what's the upcoming season is looking like.
We will be right back to bring it all to you after a word from our sponsor. Go Frogs.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome back into the Flying T Club studio. I'm your host, Caleb Fox with TCU Football. We start with men's tennis, who is always in the news. Just weeks away from leading the Horned Frogs into their first ever NCAA national championship, Jake Fearnley and Jack Pinningon were awarded singles and doubles wild cards at the championships at Wimbledon. A reservation for 3 at the All England Club as they join world number 39 ranked Cam Norrie. Fearnley is making his second straight appearance into the sport's most prestigious Grand Slam, and Pinningon is making his first. We are joined by TCU men's tennis stars Fearnley and Pinningon from London. They were roommates at TCU and now roommates across the pond. Thanks for joining the show, guys.
What's up? How we doing? Thanks for having us, guys.
Guys, has that national championship set in yet? You guys still got to be riding high on that one. Jake, let's start with you. Must have been the icing on the cake to have that be your last memory of your incredible collegiate run at TCU.
It was an awesome experience. To have that moment with my teammates, my best friends, especially in my last ever college dual match, was extremely special. And it's a memory and a moment that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I'm sure my other teammates will say the same thing, as well as Radidi. I think he was one happy chap.
Jack, you are a rising junior and still have more tennis to be played on the purple courts. What a weekend in Stillwater for the Frogs, and lifting that trophy must have been amazing.
100%. It's what the goal was at the start of the season, for us as a team and a program. And, it's not easy. We'd never done it before. It shows how tough it is, especially with how consistent TCU tennis has been, always in the top 10. So the fact that we were able to get over the line and, send Tommy and Jake off with, what they deserved after such an amazing career at TCU, I think it's a special moment for everyone on the team. And I'm just happy that, we got to bring back a national championship for TCU. It's pretty cool.
Moving on to the real reason we are here, Wimbledon. We just want to know how the process of getting to Wimbledon, and Jake, after winning your first pro challenger event at Nottingham, it seems like it was well earned. Take us through that event and I guess how exactly Wimbledon is here.
So it was a great week. Started out in the qualifying actually, and actually had a very close match in the first round qualifying. Almost lost it, and I think just able to gather some momentum after some close matches, and managed to come away with the win, and it was a super cool week, and I think as you mentioned, that kind of helped me get a Wimbledon wildcard, and for the LTA and the All England Club to accept me as a wildcard. So super grateful for the opportunity, and looking forward to getting started.
Jack, in the same event, you beat your mentor and countryman, number 39 world-ranked Cam Norrie, who was top 10 last year. Take us through that moment.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I mean, it's my first ever top 50 win, top 100 win. So I'm always going to remember it, especially with, Cam recruited me to TCU. He's always been a big mentor of mine within British tennis, and now a TCU mentor as well. And I remember he called me and Jake after NCAs and was, always he was willing to give advice about, the transition from college to pro and what he did and stuff like that. So the fact that I got to play him and have a great result and actually be able to take him out was a really special moment for me in my career so far.
So Wimbledon, the singles qualifying draw for you didn't go as planned, but you will be competing in your first Wimbledon with none other than your roommate sitting right next to you in doubles. You're in there, and that has to be special.
We're in there, me and Jake, the doubles team. So I'm looking to prove Devin and Raditi wrong. They actually split us up in the season, so I'm looking to prove them wrong, and hopefully we'll have a good run there. And if it's a dream come true, we were roommates this last semester in college. Jake's been staying with me pretty much every week since we've been back in the UK. So the fact that we've got the opportunity to share the court, which is both of our childhood dreams to play at Wimbledon, I know it's really special for me personally, and I'm sure Jake would say the same thing. And, it's going to be exciting. Devin Bowen's flying in as well. He'll be there. He'll do a bit of recruiting with the juniors, but I'm sure he'll want to watch us play as well and support. So it's just a really cool experience. And, it doesn't get much better than that, playing Wimbledon with your college roommate.
Jake, this has got to be a special opportunity for you as well, getting to play in your second Wimbledon, but now with your Horned Frog teammate.
I mean, I think, like Jack said, I think as a child growing up in the UK, playing Wimbledon is the biggest honor, and something that you work your whole life towards. So to get the opportunity to play on like those courts is pretty surreal, and it's an opportunity that me and Jack, I know, are extremely excited about, and the fact that we get to play together is just is even better. Obviously, we went through a couple of years in college together. Like you said, he's been letting me crash at his place, which is super nice of him and his parents. And just it's awesome. It's something that we're just really excited about, and we get to go through it together, which is even more exciting.
Let's stick with you, Jake. The draw comes out today for both the singles and the doubles. What are we looking forward to or maybe expecting in that draw?
So the singles tournament starts Monday, Tuesday. It will be a split draw. So whatever side Alcaraz is on will play on Monday, and then whatever side their other half will play on Tuesday. And the draw comes out on Friday. So I have to await today. And it will that, and then you will see who I'm playing and what court I'm on. Obviously, if I play a big name, then they'll put me on a bigger court, which will be scary but extremely exciting. And then we'll just have to wait and see for that.
What is the preparation like the last week or so to get ready for Monday?
Yeah, I think it's obviously just getting some good practice sessions in. I think obviously me and Jack have played a lot of tennis these last few weeks, so it's kind of managing what we're doing. I think you don't want to, especially for myself, I don't want to go over the top, but it's kind of just being smart with what you're doing, playing a lot of points, getting used to the grass courts, because every grass court is a little bit different. Some are faster than others. So that's something that we have to adjust to. And obviously Wimbledon, the courts are the best you're going to get, but it's still an adjustment. So yeah, that's kind of what this week's looked like, and over the weekend as well, we'll get some more practices in and get ready to go for when the tournament starts.
Jack, what is the difference between preparing for a college tennis match versus a professional tennis Grand Slam and the championships at Wimbledon, being probably one of the most prestigious Grand Slams?
I mean, it's so dependent, I think, on the person. I know for me, I wouldn't say I'm physically ready yet as a professional athlete to be able to do all week long 2 tough sessions. I think I'd say that's sort of what Cam would be doing. Someone who's had 4 or 5 years of building their body to become a very robust athlete. I'd say, I don't know for Jake, but for myself, it would be 1 2 hour tennis session with maybe a 45-minute warm up where you're doing a bit of core, shoulders, sort of basic strength work that's not too tiring, just warming everything up, and then 2 hours on court. Then you probably, have lunch. Then you go straight into the gym. You do hour and a half in the gym, a bit of weights, maybe uppers, lowers, whatever that looks like, depending on the session. And then some people, like I know I'm trying this week, I'm going to try and do 30 minutes extra at the end after the gym on court of very specific, not high volume, of just specific stuff I think my game needs and my coach thinks my game needs. And then it would be, massage, shake, ice bath, maybe put the boots on. I mean, we're lucky where we're training right now at the federation. They're doing everything to help us stay on court and be healthy, and also make gains even in a week where you're trying to be smart about, you're playing Wimbledon. At the end of the day, whatever happens in Wimbledon for both of us on the doubles court and then Jake in the singles, you go straight back the next week and you go again. You're still, we're wild cards. We're not in there with our own ranking yet, and that will be the goal for next year. I'm sure for Jake, definitely, to be in there with your own ranking, but make it be your living and your job full time. And I think that's where they're doing a great job of teaching us how to do that, especially in this last month and going forward, what it looks like.
Back to the draw coming out today. Jake, do you know something, or is this just wait and see who you get to play?
Whoever I play, unless they're another wild card, I'm probably going to be the underdog, in just based purely off ranking. And also, ranking alone. I mean, these guys are the best of the best that you're going to find in the sport. Obviously, there's certain matchups that are going to be worse than others. That's just like if you play Alcaraz first on center court to open the championships, there's other challenges that arise with that. And obviously there's some guys from South America that don't play on grass and just come for Wimbledon, that maybe aren't as that grass isn't their favorite surface. So that's kind of like a thought in everyone's mind as well. And for me, it's an opportunity that that doesn't come around often. So I'm just going to do my best to enjoy it and just take in the moment and hopefully have a good match. And whoever I play, it's going to be an unbelievable experience, no matter what. So I'm extremely excited. But there's obviously pressure because it's Wimbledon and it's the biggest tournament in the world. But in terms of who I play, I'm going to be the underdog in all, if not, or most, if not all matches. So it's a weird kind of dynamic, if you say.
At TCU, you have won everything there is to win at TCU. An NCAA national championship, 2 ITA indoor national championships, countless conference championships, over 100 matches won. We could go on and on. How has TCU prepared you for this moment?
I think Jack kind of touched on it as well. It's like, especially being at TCU, Radidi does a great job of getting people to our games, and I think we do have the best fan base. Par maybe a couple of schools, but we're at the top of the fan base in college, and I think that prepares you for the big crowds that happen on the Pro Tour. And I think if you ask Jack, especially like when he's playing Spaziri in that final match, I think he'll say that moment is going to help him a lot. Just playing in front of a crowd, those pressure moments that come with college tennis, it's huge for my development. I've had many experiences like that playing college, and for everyone who plays college, you're exposed to a different type of pressure, which can only help you on the pro tour.
You are a rising senior, Jack, and I know there's a lot going on between now and next year. You still have lots of time left on the purple courts at TCU. What does next year look like as far as returning to TCU?
Until December, I will be playing pro tennis. I'll take the fall off. I will miss all of the collegiate tournaments in the fall. I'll take an online community college class to keep my eligibility there if I would like to use it, and then it will be a decision in late, probably November, December, depending on how I'm doing, what my ranking is, how I'm enjoying college tennis. If I feel I'm ready to leave college tennis, I mean, there's so many outcomes and things that could change throughout the year if I get injured, or touch wood I don't, but there's so many uncertainties. So for me, it's definitely keeping an open line of communication with Rody, Devin, and at the end of the day, for the next 6 months, I'm going to be a professional tennis player. In my mind, I'm training to not come back, and obviously if I do come back, it's not a negative at all. I love TCU and I love college tennis, and Norrie did it. He was 270 in the world and came back for the spring. So I've spoke to him about it, got his opinions, and I'm just I'll make the best decision I feel I can at the time, and go from there.
A couple more questions and then we will let you guys go watch the draw. But you guys just can't get away from each other. You were roommates in college and now roommates at Wimbledon. Where exactly are you and how has that been going?
So we're at my house. I'm in South London in Cobham. It's about 20 minutes from Wimbledon and where we're training, which is Roehampton, which is basically next to Wimbledon. And he's been crashing with me. He stayed up with me and my grandparents in Nottingham for a night before we went to the tournament hotel. I've been driving him everywhere. He doesn't have his driving license, so he's been my passenger princess.
But I'm paying petrol or gas, just so that's clear.
No, you're not. I'm writing those off his receipts.
Oh yeah.
No, you're not. I'm paying everything. Jake's doing nothing, and it's been great. I mean, I love it. I mean, I've got 3 younger sisters, so it's nice having like a mate around and being able to joke and do whatever. We're about to go play a very competitive table tennis match outside in my garden, so it's been good fun. And Thomas Jurasek is here with us. He's around, so there's the 3 of us just sort of hanging out in London, all playing Wimbledon. It's pretty surreal, especially after the month we just had at TCU winning a national championship. To run straight into this, it sort of doesn't feel real yet.
Last question is probably the most important. Are you guys going to miss fellow Frog Luke Swan cheering you guys on from the next court over?
100%. But although he's not here, he's still very present. Somehow he still manages to make his presence known. He messages us every day, and he's someone that I think Jack will definitely attest to this as well. Is that we don't want to lose, although he's gonna be over in the States. He's such a great friend to us, and he's got our best interests at heart, and he wants us to do the best he can. So obviously we'll miss him yelling at me on the sidelines or yelling at the opponents on the sidelines. But no, he's still very much present in our tennis careers.
I think if he really cares, he'd fly out, but that's just my opinion.
Well, that's what we're trying to
convince him to
come.
Convince
him to come.
But he's working. He's got his Nike internship. He's doing very well, and we're really happy to see him, living his best life out in LA this summer. And obviously, Jake might play mixed doubles with his sister. That's unknown yet. They're gonna request a wild card. So if that's the case and he doesn't fly out, I think we're gonna have a big word with him. We're gonna have a talking to and tell him to sort himself out.
He's got something coming.
We are grateful for you guys taking some time out of your day, all the way from London, England, as you await your names to be called in today's Wimbledon Grand Slam draw, in both singles for you, Jake, and doubles for both of you. The dream team in the making. Thanks again, and we will be following along and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks, guys.
The draw can be followed live via the official Wimbledon website, with updates across their various social media platforms too, with news and reaction. The tournament starts Monday live on ABC, ESPN, and the Tennis Channel. We turn to more Olympic news with more TCU athletes Paris bound this summer. As reported on last week's show, Stephanie Grunzo from the national champion women's rifle team will represent Team Denmark in Paris. Grunzo becomes the second Olympian in program history, joining Sarah Scherer, who competed in the 2012 and 2016 games. Grunzo finished her TCU career as the first 12-time first-team All-American in the history of the program. Her first Olympics will take place on July 27th through August 2nd. TCU Swim and Dive adds 2 Paris-bound athletes heading to the Olympics this summer. Renishka Gibbs, representing the Bahamas in the 50-meter freestyle, will join Jaden Willis, representing Antigua in the 100-meter breaststroke. The USA track and field trials are going on as we speak through Sunday, and stay tuned to all our socials at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com for more updates. My teammate Marcel Brooks will bring you a package on our new uniforms and be joined by women's head golf coach Angie Ravioli Larkin to get us updated on what her team is doing this summer and with an update on the upcoming season. All that and more after this break.
We're lucky to have a collective that's as strong and as powerful as the Flying T Club. It's a big deal for us. It is a game changer. You know, I would just encourage any fans out there to support it. Everyone asks me, what's the biggest priority? And I say, NIL is big. Please jump on board, show these student athletes how much they mean to you. The thing about NIL is I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and the Flying T Club's do it the right way. Let's keep winning. Join the Flying T Club today.
Welcome back in Frog Nation from the Flying T Club studios here at Roxo Media House in Clear Fork. I'm Marcel Brooks with football. Let's begin with some news myself and our football team is most excited about. Our new Nike uniforms for next year. It was announced last week, our new looks for this upcoming season in the Carter. We are able to get a little more detail on what this process was like from the director of football equipment, Jason Jones.
And honestly, uniform process is about a 2-year process from beginning to wear. We started working on this probably in the middle of the season in 2022 season. And so it's kind of like we get with Nike. They tell us, hey, get on the uniform builder that we have and kind of look at the mock, what kind of layouts that you kind of like. In the old time, and probably 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't that way. It was literally, they had guys that would come in, give us a design and go, what do you think? What can we make changes? So they used to have graphic designers that did everything for you uniform wise, which is not the case anymore for anybody out there. It really is very few that you can actually, that they come in and tell you that what you're going to wear now. So now it's kind of like a collaboration between your administration, your coaching staff, us, and then Nike kind of working together.
We also wanted to know who has the final say on where the logo and the slogan and the traditional brand marks can go on the actual jersey.
Also, Nike doesn't offer up, like I was kind of mentioning, all these crazy makeups and being able to do all this crazy stuff anymore. If you look at pretty much everybody around the country that's putting out uniforms now, they are pretty much just adding stripes or adding color blocks somewhere. There's not this crazy, like, all these patterns and all this stuff that they used to do all the time. I hate to say it, but bring it up, but COVID changed the world in a lot of different things, and when it comes to uniforms, that is one of them. Between COVID and Nike taking over NFL, they've basically kind of streamlined everything, and so you don't have as many options. Basically, they did. You can add some stripes here and there. You can add a little bit of design, maybe in the shoulder right here, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot you can do craziness-wise anymore, especially since they're not the ones doing every aspect of it. But, I mean, like I said, it kind of was a collaboration between them and with us. Administration kind of wanted to do a little bit more traditional look, and that's kind of where we ended up landing, because between the options and what they wanted, it's kind of where things went. Depending on where we put things, university more says where we can put some things. Like, they were not going to let us give them Hell TCU on the outside of a jersey. They're more willing to let us do it on the inside because it is something to do with TCU and our history, but it's not something that we want out on the outside of something. Carter Boys is probably, that was the next thing that was added. It's kind of a new saying for our group that came in when this new staff came in. It's kind of like a recruiting point too, because all of our recruiting classes are called Carter Boys, whatever. And so it's kind of a bridge between recruiting and game. And then, I mean, we play in the Carter, so kind of encompasses everything within our program of adding from recruiting to playing on the game and playing in that stadium. So, but beyond that, it's kind of, Nike doesn't tell us where we can and can't put things. They just have certain spots that on their chassis, is what you call the jerseys, where you can actually do stuff. They have spots where you can't do things. And so you kind of got to live within that realm of things to do what you want and what your school wants. And so it kind of just depends on what your school will allow you to do.
Well, we know what the new uniforms look like. Well, what about the helmets, and how does the uniform helmet and uniform combinations work for game day? Who makes those decisions? We hear that the captains have some input as well.
What it is now, I mean, Nike used to come in and be like, hey, this is what our uniform is. Here's the helmets we think you should wear, color-wise. And that's typically what we did. Now it is, we were like, all right, this is what our uniforms are going to look like. What do we want to do helmet-wise? We're making kind of a switch to where the helmets are now the flash part of our uniforms, which we're bringing back the purple chrome that we had back in the mid 2010s, the 10s, the 14, 15 range. We're bringing in the mirror helmet now, which is completely, I think there's only one or two other schools in the country that have that one. And then we're keeping the black carbon one that we came out with last year. That will now become our black helmet. And then we are going back, as you noticed in the video, going back to the purple gloss, kind of like the traditional purple game helmet that we always had for years. We're bringing that one back, and then the white will not be touched. It's pretty standard white game helmet that we've been sticking to for a while, and we're not going to touch that. And so we're kind of looking at what we're going to do decal-wise. As of right now, we're sticking to the stacked logo that we currently have always, and then potentially throwing some just TCUs on by itself on a few of them. The mirror helmet doesn't make sense to have the frog on it because you'll lose it. You can't see it. And so the mirror helmet more than likely will be just a TCU only, and that's it. And then I will continue to push the limits a little bit to see what Jeremiah will allow me to do decal-wise. I send him pictures every few weeks with sample decals in that I have, and so he can test his where he wants it to be and if he likes it or not. So, but as of right now, we're sticking to the stack logo, and then a few here and there will be just the TCU. And then obviously if and when we wear the gray uniform for Fear the Frog game, we will stick to the same one that we did last year, because in essence, we're adapting that logo, the old 60s frog with the red outline, adapting that as our Fear the Frog logo going forward, for football at least.
The summer is busy for everyone, coaches, players, and teams, and so on. But what about the equipment staff and during the summer and getting ready for the season on top of summer training, summer camp, and the equipment staff?
The first 3 weeks is pretty cumbersome because you got camps going on. We started off summer with our mega camp weekend where we have 7 camps technically, if you include the kicking camp. But you have 7 camps over 3 days. And so 6 of them are over 2 days. And where you have, I think we ran through just over 3,000 kids in 2 days in 6 camps. And so it's 2 very long days. But you get it in, get it done, and then just move on. And then the rest of the week you have kids camp, you have middle school camp, you have elite camp, you have all these camps in the first few weeks, along with all of our guys reporting and working out and doing their skills and drill stuff and 7-on-7 and things that they're allowed to do during the summer. And then along with that, we're getting in 400 or 500 boxes a day of all the stuff coming in for the coming year. So the first 3 weeks are a pretty big juggling act. I'll say we don't get a whole lot done with the stuff coming up for the year, but because you're dealing a lot with the camps and you're dealing with a lot with just the workouts and all that. And so we do luckily this year we've been getting boxes in since probably late March, April. So as of right now, I'll say we're pretty far ahead. Hopefully it stays that way. And so like this week is the first week coaches have been on vacation. So when coaches go on vacation, there's not as much. There's still our players are still doing things, but there's no camps. There's nothing else going on, so we can concentrate on getting ready for the season. And I mean, we're almost done building the players' practice slips already. We're about to start working on the coaches' practice gear, and so like to be working on that a month before they report is pretty much way ahead.
Lastly, TCU athletes are well taken care of, and the gear is endless, and that isn't including postseason and bowl games.
6 to 7 pairs of shoes, not including cleats. They get 3 pairs of cleats a year, and then if they break down, we replace them. And then clothing-wise, I mean, in total from Nike, they're probably getting close to $4,000 to $5,000 worth of clothing that they get to keep every year. And clothing, we don't take clothing back from them. They give it to them. We don't have in football. Players don't receive anything outside, obviously outside the uniforms. Clothing-wise, footwear-wise, they keep it all. The only other thing would be there's 7 stud cleats for grass games in Utah and Colorado, places like that. We keep those because we don't wear them. I mean, we wear them once every 2 years maybe, and so we keep those cleats. But everything else is new every year for those guys. And then the helmets, obviously helmets and shoulder pads we keep, and we just recondition every year. And at the end of their career, they're allowed to buy their jerseys or buy their helmets and stuff like that. But that's between uniforms, helmets, shoulder pads, and those 7 stud cleats, they get everything every year.
We can't thank the equipment staff enough for allowing us just to worry about playing football and making sure we look good playing the sport we love. Obviously, Nike takes care of us too, but the behind-the-scenes work of what Jason and his crew do for us for football program is much appreciated.
Turning to women's golf news, we are joined live on the show with head women's golf coach Angie Ravioli Larkin on news from her team, and we want to start with several of your players competing in some prestigious events, starting with 2 of your stars, now TCU alum Lois Lau and freshman international, both from France, Cammy McGalter, are in the Republic of Ireland at the Women's Amateur Championships. Lau, a 4-time NCAA champion tournament participant, your all-time birdie leader, 3-time medalist, 7 top 10 finishes, including 4 top 5s, and various academic awards as well. What is her life after college look like, starting with this event?
Yeah, she is playing a ton this summer, getting ready to compete in LPGA qualifying school this fall. So she is representing France in the ladies team championship in a few weeks, as well as competing around the world in various amateur events until she does turn pro. So it's great to see her playing well. I know she's working hard and something she's really passionate about, and she'll be excited to go to her next level.
And of course, Cammy, an incoming freshman, catch us up on her tournament so far and this experience for her at the Women's Amateur Championship, which started on Wednesday and goes through Saturday.
Yes, Camille has absolutely played awesome this past 6 months. She's won a couple international events. She is just really tearing it up on the other side of the pond. So we're really excited to have her join us this fall, along with another world-ranked player, Gracie McGovern from Phoenix. So I think just with the 2 of them coming in, they're just going to really be great assets. And they're great people. They're great athletes. They work really hard. They'll fit really well into our culture with their discipline and work ethic. And we're excited to have them both. And it's exciting to see Camille playing so well right now as she competes in pretty much a tournament every week, if not every other week over there. This is their prime time season.
Another event, the Women's Texas Amateur Championship, Kirsten Angosta and Megan Winans teed it up in the heart of the Lone Star State Tuesday. I know they advanced to the championship bracket, but you have to be proud of these kids for what they're doing in the summer to get ready for the season.
Yes, they're both competing a ton this summer in various amateur events around the country. This is one of the first ones to kind of kick off June with the Texas Women's Am, which, really has some of the best players from around the world competing in it at all ages. So really proud of them for making the championship, the top 32. And, Megan won her first match, made it to the Sweet 16. And then, unfortunately they both lost a match, but they've been truly working hard as well on their game and just continuing to compete and get their world ranking points up as well as they advance into the summer, getting ready for our fall season.
Well, we wish all your Horned Frogs good luck this summer, but fill us in on what your summer looks like.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've really kind of been all over. I'm getting ready now to head out to the North-South junior event, which actually is at Pinehurst #2. So it's going to be fun to watch them compete where the men's open was a week or so ago. And it's a great opportunity for these juniors. It's one of the premier junior events in the country. So I leave for that, and then heading over to the team championship over in Sweden, and then back over here, fly back. I'm home a day, repack, and then head out to the U.S. Junior Girls out in California. So that's kind of my next 3 weeks, and just love where I get to go. Just blessed and grateful, and really excited to see some of the best junior golfers from around the world. And we've had a ton of interest with our new facility being opening this fall at Colonial. It's just an exciting time for women's golf right now.
Last but not least, what do we have to look forward to in women's golf next year? We see the news about heading to the historic Pebble Beach for your season opener starting August 30th at the Carmel Cup. Fill us in on that, and of course, your thoughts on your group next year.
Yeah, with the Carmel Cup, the players will actually come in a little earlier than normal. Typically, we start the first week of school, but we'll start before that, just getting everybody prepped and ready. Just such an iconic place at Pebble Beach, and so much history and tradition. We're just so excited to compete in this event. It's only 8 teams are invited. This is the first year that we have been selected to go, so we're super excited. The girls are fired up. They'd probably come back now if I asked them to get ready for it. So we'll kick off our season then at that event, and really get rolling strong for the fall. We have 5 tournaments in the fall, and just super, super pumped about that being our first one. And, they know they got to be ready. It's 7 other of the best teams in the country, and playing such a beautiful and iconic golf course is you got to be ready for it. So they know, and they're working hard, and I'm excited right now. I'd get going right now if I could, but it can't get here fast enough.
Thanks so much for joining us, and good luck to your team this summer. And we just might have to take a break from football to do some Frogs Today reporting at Pebble Beach.
Well, come on. The more the merrier. And we love lining the fairways with purple, and we'd love to see y'all out there. So come support the Frogs, and let's go.
We will be right back with a package on the TCU Frog Club and TCU men's and women's basketball news right after this break.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Welcome back in, Frog Nation. I'm Caleb Fox with TCU Football.
And I'm Marcel Brooks. We're here from Flying T Club Studios at Rocks and Median House. Our new uniforms are the last segment, might be something Caleb and I are most excited about for the upcoming season, but nothing is more exciting than the TCU Frog Club. And earlier this week, we were joined by the leader of Frog Club, Joe Foley, who has joined us last spring as the Assistant Vice Chancellor for the Development and the Senior Associate Athletic Director. And we got to know him a little more and how important his role is heading up the Frog Club.
You know, the Frog Club is an organization that's been around since 1940, charged with raising money in support of our student athletes. And so we have an annual giving program that creates a broad base of support, allowing our donors of all levels to give in support of our student athletes, fund scholarships, capital improvements, give our coaches the resources they need to compete. We have a major giving program as well, where we try to identify those who are capable of giving at the very highest level to help fund our biggest priorities for the athletic department. You know, new facilities, capital improvements, things of that nature that really help advance the opportunities our student athletes have to excel during their time here in Fort Worth.
A recent project that took over the span of a week, ending on Wednesday, raising over $250,000, fully explains what the 24/7 initiative was and how important it was to get that kicked off.
You know, it occurred to us that our coaches who have received great resources from the university could really benefit from a competitive advantage of a little extra philanthropy, a little bit more in their budgets to help support the hard work that they're doing, right? And so we set out to, and we acknowledge the fact that our student athletes, they're committed day in, day out, all day, 24/7 to the pursuit of excellence academically and athletically. And in the spirit of that, we created this initiative, 24 programs, our 22 varsity teams, plus our Spirit and our Rangers, grade 24, over a week, 7 days, to really drive support to our coaches' discretionary funds, giving them the ability to do what they need uniquely for their individual programs to help them excel and compete at the very highest level. And so we sought out, and we simply asked the donor community here at TCU to give a little more. This is not in exchange for better seats at games. This is not for tickets or for better parking spaces. It's just help our student athletes have the very best experience they can have, and trust our coaches to use their discretion to spend these dollars to make their programs better. And they've really stepped up incredibly. It's been a really fun week to watch this happen. I couldn't be more excited about how this is going.
Nick Parsons and Megan Moret work with Foley within the Frog Club in loyalty giving and explain what went into putting together this project.
Well, it would have been a lot simpler if we were just talking about one fund or one support, right? Or one area of support. What made this a challenge was everything we needed to do was multiplied by 18, right? For that number of coaches or teams, whether we wanted to do a coach video, that's 18 videos, or one place to give times 18. So it took a lot of labor and a lot of repetition, but it was worth it, because when you do it that way, it really gives some of the programs who maybe don't get as much of the spotlight a chance to tell their story, right? When you listen to the rifle team, national champions, talk about what their needs and what takes them and keeps them at that highly sustained level. It gives us an opportunity to get to know them. As for someone new like me, when we go to those video shoots, I get 10 minutes with every head coach to talk to them for a second, to help them tell me about their program so I can go out and help advocate for them. That to me is the value that happens when you get, an opportunity to personalize this kind of outreach team by team like we've been doing.
Yeah, it's been a really great project to be a part of. I think one special piece was, getting the student athletes to create these thank you videos and having them a part of the process, just to kind of unveil that piece that, as you mentioned, they don't always know about, that this is a donor support that helps funds all the things that you do. And so getting them exposed to that and seeing their gratitude and wanting to be a part of that is really cool. So whether that's, helping with the thank you videos or helping us post on social media and spreading the word, that's been really helpful to this whole initiative.
Foley and his associate Parsons and Morant talk about why they choose TCU and what's important about what they do for the TCU athletic department.
Well, one thing that when you do what Joe and I have done at several other places, one thing that's always true is that the more people that add their support, the better off the entirety of your athletic organization is. It never will be as successful as it can be if philanthropy is concentrated within a certain number of people. The volume matters, right? And so loyalty can mean whether it's a couple $100, a couple thousand, or even more. Loyalty exists for everyone. And if you bleed purple and you love the Frogs, you can give. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. You can't sell out giving. And that's important. That's what loyalty is. And that hopefully that's a message that can resonate no matter where you are. If you want to help the Frogs, there's a part you can do that works for you. And really it's up to us to try to just make sure that you know the avenues by which you can provide that support.
Yeah, TCU is really an incredible place to be, and with the name, the 24/7, Horned Frogs 24/7, really digging into what does that mean. Our student athletes pour in, they're dedicated 24/7, but also the whole TCU community, from faculty and staff to coaches to the support staff to our donors and fans, everyone is truly for the Frogs and supporting us 24/7. So we really just wanted to tap into that. And, it's the student athletes, but it's also the fan base showing up to the Carter when it's 100 degrees, or, stepping up to help with an initiative like this. That the 24/7 mentality is really what we're tapping into.
It's noticeable the growth that's happened at TCU over the last decade plus. And so an opportunity to join an organization that's on the rise, that has high expectations, that has high belief, that's exciting, right? That makes you come to work with an extra pep in your step, right? But as I was exploring this opportunity, it became very apparent very quickly the community and the network and the passion that exists for this place from the alumni, from the students, from the parents, from everyone that wears purple. They love this place. And it was very quick to get a sense of that. When you start to get around the people who have been here, who know the area, know the region, the way the city of Fort Worth and area has built up and supports TCU is incredible. You don't find that in a lot of towns as big as Fort Worth that support their local school the way Fort Worth does TCU. It's a great place to be, and that was apparent very quickly on.
So I did my undergrad at UCLA, played beach volleyball there, and with COVID, had the opportunity to play somewhere else. I knew I wanted to just try something different, and I knew the coaches here at TCU, and so they invited me to come out and just take a look at Fort Worth, see what it was like, and I instantly fell in love with the campus and with the city. The beach program itself is really incredible. The master's program I wanted to pursue was very good at TCU, and then, like I said, the community at TCU, Fort Worth is truly a special place, and so I was really excited to be a part of that as a student athlete. And then, as a student athlete, just being provided all the resources I needed to succeed, I wanted to be part of paying that forward to the next generation of student athletes, and what better way to do that than to work for an organization like the Frog Club. So lucky enough to stick around and now get to do that for our student athletes.
Foley expands on his team and what is special about the Frog Club and being the principal fundraising arm for the TCU athletics, providing critical financial support and athletic scholarships to student athletes.
We've got a great team in the Frog Club, really talented people who commit first and foremost to serving our student athletes by raising these dollars to help give them the best experience. But we know we can't do that without giving our donors a really great experience as well. And so whether it's the premium spaces on game day that we maintain, or the kind of events that we host donors at throughout the year, we really try to seek out fun and engaging ways to really make the TCU community want to continue to support. They've been incredibly generous for years and years and years, but we don't want to rest on our laurels. We want to continue to find new ways to show our gratitude, to show our appreciation, and to make it fun to support our student athletes.
Lastly, what was the goal and aspirations in the 24/7 program?
I think that anytime more than 450 people contribute $250,000 or more, that's successful, right? This is the first time we've done this kind of outreach, so it was hard to set an expectation this time through. But based on the support we've seen, we'll have high expectations for the next one of these, and there will be a next one. But it has definitely been exhilarating to see the community latch on to share messages, to participate in the way they have, both with gifts, but then with I've had multiple interactions of references shared to the social media activity and everyone liking, posting, retweeting, whatever, hashtagging. That has been just as incredible to see people amplify the message as much as the dollars have been. Back to the community aspect, that's what it takes. It takes amplification, volume, participation. That's what drives these initiatives. And this was just our first one, right? I can't wait to see what they become after another attempt and a third and a fourth.
Yeah, I think it's so apparent as soon as you step on campus and just start talking to people, whether it's staff or community members, just how passionate everyone is about TCU. Whether it's alumni, current parents, current students, or even just community members that have kind of tapped into that bleeding purple, but everyone just is so passionate about TCU. And whether it's our big sports to our smaller sports, there's so much success on every level, and everyone is just so excited to be a part of that.
Like Nick said, we didn't want to set goals going this, partially because we didn't want to limit ourselves. We wanted to see what this could be. But we're going to set really audacious goals moving forward. This was our first year trying this initiative, and gosh, over $250,000 raised. That's incredible. But moving forward, our student athletes need these resources to be the very best they can be. Our coaches want to build the most competitive programs they can in their respective sports, and that doesn't happen without donors stepping up and supporting. So we're going to keep pushing this, and next year when we do this, we look to continue growing, look to find new ways to thank and to have fun with donors who do support it, and this will be something that we'll continue to do for many, many years to come.
How do you get more information on the Frog Club? We will also bring you part 2 of a 3-part series on the Frog Club with updates on the Block T Association and the Simpson Family Restoration and Wellness Center in the weeks to come here on Frogs Today.
Although the Horned Frogs 24/7 ended this past Wednesday, we still have unlimited needs for our student athletes, and the need to raise money and to support their experience here doesn't end. And so if donors didn't get a chance to participate in that but still want to make a gift in support of any of our teams, we're happy to help them. And they can simply just get in touch with the Frog Club, and we'd be glad to work with them on a gift of any amount. No amounts too little, no amounts too much. We're happy to work with them on whatever level they're comfortable giving.
On to men's and women's hoops. Big 12 conference pairings have been released, and for more information on that, go to gofrogs.com. And in case you missed last week's season 2 finale of The State of the Frogs with Jamie Dixon, here is a portion of that schedule with Coach Dixon speaking to the upcoming season.
With the workouts and everything, with your job as far as the upcoming season, upcoming schedule is almost complete pretty much. You got some big games coming up. Got Michigan, got a tournament, the Thanksgiving tournament a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about that and the upcoming season?
Yeah, we're going to go out to California. As you know, we might like going west. We've drawn well when we've gone there. So this is a new event. Had an event last year as part of this in Palm Springs at their new arena down there that's beautiful. We're excited about it. A number of teams are going to be out there. They've got different pods, and so it's Santa Clara, Washington, Colorado State is the event. We've got Michigan lined up in a home and home. That took some work and some things, so we're excited about that. I think that's another indicator of where our program is at. And we're still in that Big East challenge, which, I think I was the guy that first mentioned, let's do a challenge with the Big East. That was 8 years ago when I first got here. When we had 10, they had 10 teams. But just the challenges haven't worked, to be honest with you, the inconsistency. And they never do work because the realignment, the changing teams. And to be honest with you, we've played, the same team, Xavier, Georgetown, and I'm drawing a blank on the other team that we've played. Like, we didn't play the whole league, and we've played them twice. So again, not exactly what we had been promised, not exactly what we wanted. The dates haven't been ideal. Like, we're bringing ours when our students aren't here. I mean, it just hasn't worked. So, I think we got Michigan at the right date, right time, and we'll get the return at the right time. And so, it's just you need the flexibility, you need the freedom, and we love playing a game in Dickies, still finalizing that. So, scheduling, there's people have no idea the amount of time that goes into scheduling.
Right.
There's a lot of head fakes and pump fakes in basketball. There's even more in scheduling. So it's a challenge every single day.
Watch the full episode. Check us out on frogstoday.com. It's been great catching up with all the TCU athletes, news and notes. I'm Marcel Brooks, and for TCU Football and for everyone behind the scenes here at Roxo Media House.
This has been Frogs Today for June 28th. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the Carter next year. I'm Caleb Fox. Stay tuned next week. Go Frogs.